Hello my lovely child of the internet, it is I, Multi126789, other known as Multi-Man, and welcome back to another wonderful Tips and Tricks video. Today we're talking about a lot of things that happen or are accessible for you in Silent Hope, a game that has come out on the Switch and I think will be on both PC and other consoles if you are interested in playing. And again, before we even start, if you want to play this game before even, actually fully purchasing this game, there are demos out for multiple different consoles if you would like to try the first dungeon of the game or level up your characters to level 15. Either way, if you want to just watch because you're interested in what I have to say about the video game, or if you want to play it yourself and then come back and then enjoy all of the different types of tips and tricks that you can be able to have the most fun with this game, by all means, you can do either one. But without further ado, my lovely child of the internet, let's get into the video. Alright, so first of all, I would like to start off with saying that there are many classes in this game, or many characters, 7 to be exact. All 7 of these characters have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and before you start the game, you will be asked to choose one of them to go down and do the tutorial levels of the first stage. Now, I'm saying this to you because I wanted to bring up a very important point, which is what we're going to talk about first. Class switching is a thing, and please be able to allow yourself to not be attached to just one character, because there are plenty of characters in this game that you will love and care about. I will recommend that you learn at least 2 or 3 different characters, and the reason why I will say that is because learning how to play different classes that will have definitely better times fighting certain types of enemies is a very good boon. Also, the fact that when you go through dungeons, you can switch characters halfway through if you're having trouble, and if you want to save yourself from having some difficult times with having to stop halfway through a run because you don't have no more HP potions or you're finding yourself low on resources for one character, switching to another character you like will save you a lot of hassle in the end. And going off with number 2, item gathering is a thing that you will do in this game. There are a lot of things that are breakable objects in this game that will give you items, whether it's farming equipment, whether it's stuff for making and building new weapons, or just giving you raw materials that will help overall boost your stats for your characters with little things called Magi stones, which we will touch on later. Collecting items in this game, whether it's just other new pieces of weapons that come from a chest, or individual parts, will all play to the bigger picture later. Do never feel bad about taking your time exploring a dungeon and getting all the resources you need. Because I will say this, the more you have, the less you'll have to worry about going back and grinding for it in the future. And sometimes even going back to earlier stages just to get better weapons for the next upcoming stage or challenges that may be arising because of the next area you may be trying. It will be beneficial to have as many resources as possible to be able to play around with to allow yourself to excel. Because all of it now will go to your base camp. Number 3, of which we were talking about. Now, base camp is a very good place where you can go and use all of your items, and the more times you use your facilities, the more it will level up. Now, leveling up these facilities will take probably about maybe 5 or 6 or 7 times going through the dungeons, because it will take basically the amount of time that you've used it and created stuff with said character for each of those stations where you use that to level up, and show you the progress that they're making with learning how to be better at making or, synthesizing items into things that can then be used for your equipment. It's a very useful thing because it turns 2 slots into 3, 3 into 4, 4 into 5, and etc. until you get max level, which you will probably get by the end of the game. But being able to have the access to curate and get all these items only comes from being able to level them and going down into dungeons and waiting for things to finish so you can collect them all so they can gain the experience they need. And one of the spaces that actually benefits a lot from just this system in general is the cooking items. Cooking items allow you to basically, when you use the farming side of things, whether it's using the animal produce or just the veggies, you can cook items that give you beneficial effects for going down into each of the dungeons. There is 2 caveats to this, I will say. One, of course, you can use these items at any time, and they're very beneficial. So if you're ever going through a hard stage or going through a section that may be hard, maybe switching up your items in your dish selection for one of the 3 options that you give yourself might be a beneficial boon. But if you're ever going and grinding in this game and you know that your characters are way above level, or if you don't want to waste any of your dishes, make sure you de-equip them to earlier areas. I can't tell you how much it saved me from having to use a bunch of my equipment and also my cooking ingredients and wasting a bunch of my food effects on easy areas which I could already clear and not have to be like, oh, well, I sure did waste the dish instead of saving it for something more important. So make sure that you be mindful with everything that you cook, and it is beneficial to cook everything in bulk, because as long as you have those items in your stock, it will automatically replenish after every time you go down into the depths of the abyss. Alright, Magi stones are cool little things that you can add to your weapons. So in this game you can create weapons by finding them. It's called memory fragments or weapon memory fragments in the dungeons that are either spawned through chests or dropped through enemies. But also, in turn, you can also find these things called Magi stones, which basically are equipables for those items once you create them. So going to the forge and creating these items, if they have a little diamond symbol on them, that means you can add additional effects, which is either a way to give you different elemental properties, or give you cooldowns on your specials, or your cooldown on your dashes, and all kinds of other beneficial effects. Do look out for these stones, and don't be afraid to collect every one you see, because these are very useful for your gameplay to be able to have a little bit of an extra edge to turn the tide when playing the game. And when fighting monsters in this game, you actually get their info in the monster index. Now this index is very important because every time you come back and you realize, oh, I had a really good weapon that I got, but I don't have the ingredients to make it. Being able to click the pause menu and check to see what floor or where they exist in the game is very useful. And as you see that there are higher difficulties for different types of drops when you get through certain parts of the game. Again, that's something for maybe another time if people want to know. But for now, all you need to know is that the bestiary is there to help you so you can find the right ingredients you need to be able to allow you to excel and make your equipment top notch, and allow you to be able to craft all this legendary equipment that you're going to need to be able to face the enemies ahead. Speaking of which, to face enemies ahead, you need to have a lot of XP, and XP combo is a thing that is a mechanic in this game that allows you to basically get extra XP for playing well. By hitting enemies, you'll be able to reset this counter that's going to be on the right side of the screen that basically indicates to you how much time you have before you can destroy another enemy. The more enemies you destroy, the more XP you're going to get. You don't get extra XP until you start destroying 10 enemies, but afterwards you get a 1.25 bonus. Then it switches over when you hit 20 to a 1.5 times bonus, and then once you get to 30, which is very hard because there's very few rooms in this game that will allow you to, you will be able to get a 2 times bonus on your EXP, which will help you level up your character very fast. One really big trick also I would like to tell you while you're listening to me, you can also make sure you don't kill enemies right away, so you can use them as a way or a means to get your combo higher. And also if you have things like poison or flame damage or anything like that, you can also use that as a means of being able to extend your combo, because that counts as damage to an enemy even if it's not killing it, which is very important because if you want to get the max amount of combos during your run so you can level up a character really quickly, is to be able to time your hits and make your enemy move in a way that benefits you so you can get the most out of each combo. And another way to help you, increase your combo game is skills. Each of these classes in this game have skills that you can learn and unlock. In each class, and each character that has a class can level up to 2 different additional classes later in the game once you reach level 15. Now, I'm going to talk about these in hybrid to let you know that yes, these skills, you can only equip 3 at a time, but after you reach level 15, I wanted to let you know that you unlock a new class that allows you to get 3 other skills. So maybe if a character didn't vibe with you at the beginning of the game because you felt like you were limited by the amount of skills they have, come back to them once you reach them to level 15 and see if you enjoy playing them more. Because a lot of my gameplay style ended up being, after I get everybody to level 15, is finding what now works perfectly for traveling the dungeons and what would be better for using for bosses. Some abilities you might not want to level up or even expand because you don't find them very useful to the type of style you want to play, and that's completely fine. But just remember to give everything and every character that you want to try or try to enjoy a chance to be able to fully flourish. And to be able to take out a large group of enemies or even just destroy a boss really quickly by finding the right match of different types of skills and abilities that will work for you. Also, the skill leveling system will always be 1 skill to unlock, 1 skill to power up, then 2, then 3, and then so on until it maxes out, I believe, at 5. So again, depending on what you like in a character, you can heavily put into just 1 ability that's really useful for you, or you can spread it out evenly and distribute it whatever way you would like. But yeah, just make sure to experiment with all those skills, because all those skills have their very niche use, but if you find out how to use them properly, they can do wonders for you on your adventures into the abyss. And now we're going to talk about the last 2 things, one being the achievement system in this game. So as you're naturally playing the game and doing things in the game, you'll be able to unlock or get rewarded by achievements, by either going through the dungeons or going in home base and doing certain criteria that the princess encased in tears will then reward you for. These are very useful rewards, such as giving you more rune crystals to be able to do a lot more of the facilities, because you can't do the facilities without these rune crystals that you either get from defeating enemies and playing through the dungeons or through these achievements. And also, it allows you to be able to keep up with your XP and also with certain types of things that you can get up beforehand, like weapons or different types of dishes that you can use for your exploration. Because at the end of the day, one of the biggest things that I want to harp to you about this video is that numbers do matter. Any defense value, any strength value, how much percentage you're getting from strength and attacks, and to what type of rarity you get matters in this game. When you find things that allow you to have a bigger number, you will feel it impact you heavily when you're fighting enemies that are on your level or a little bit weaker, and see how much of a difference it makes. Making one piece of equipment that's really good for one of the characters you like makes a big difference. Going back through dungeons and finding legendary equipment or equipment that may be appraised by your girl by wiping away the malice will make a lot of difference in your gameplay and in your strategy. Early on in the first dungeon of the game, if you replay it with multiple characters, you'll probably have a higher chance of finding some rare items that will give you more XP, that will literally allow your characters to level up a lot faster, or just give you a lot more damage so you can more comfortably get through certain sections of the game that you might have not been comfortable with before. But all these things together really show you how much depth this game has to offer. It may not seem very complex on the surface when you play the demo, because it's a small snippet of the whole picture, but as you play it and you realize how much more it's integral to combo, to understand the layouts of floors, to understand what it means to have certain gear or equipment or play as a certain character, you find it very relaxing and you get into a good rhythm of it to be able to excel past your limits that you didn't know that you could in this game. At some point, you'll probably be reaching numbers that are extremely high out of nowhere and be like, wow, this feels good. But yeah, my lovely child of the internet, that's going to be everything for me. I think I rambled on enough about Silent Hope, but thank you all for listening. Again, if you want any more sort of videos like this about this game, please let me know down in the comments, and also let me know if any of you have tried the demo, are currently playing the game, or have interest now in playing the game after watching this video, because I actually do want to hear your guys' feedback if you guys really enjoy this sort of content, because I love making it for you. But yeah, my lovely child of the internet, that's going to be everything for me. I have been Multi126789, other known as Multi-Man. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button so YouTube tells you that, hey, you want to see more of this guy talk about video games. And I'll catch you lovely chows of the internet next time. So ciao ciao. Until then.